Sharpie.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Well, hanging out. I don't know what day it is. Oh, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
You know what that is?
I
Prime
do.
time, baby.
It's prime time, baby. You know, we've been doing this thing for like a year.
A year. A full year.
Like a whole year. It was birthed out of a pandemic. And then we started the show. And oddly enough, people watch it, which is they still watch it.
It's wild.
That's wild. Well, I don't know. We're live. So what's my safe word? Oh, yeah. Pineapple. Andy, take it away.
What time is it? What time is it? It's prime time. It's prime time. What time is it? What time is it? Prime time. It's prime time. Oh yeah. Whew. That was weird.
That was weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, it's Tuesday night. And what we do on Tuesdays is we geek out about guitars. We have some fun. Tonight is the anniversary special. Anniversary special. The Mystery Guitar Nerd show is tonight. Who will it be? We don't know, because it's a mystery.
No.
But Lindsay's here. Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Jay's here.
I'm here.
Mystery guest, mysterious nerd, mystery nerd, mysterious guest, mystery guest.
What?
Wow.
I don't even know what that was, but it was
Talent.
magical.
Yeah. Talent.
It is. So apparently we've, this is episode 44, but we've taken a break or two. So I guess it's been a year. Someone let us know last week that it's been a year that we've been doing this show. It didn't always look like this. It wasn't so sophisticated like this. Like this is like the most, I remember we got like a bonus because the show top notch, the improv is top notch. We're trying. We're trying. It is not scripted whatsoever. And guys, we have a really awesome show. I wanted to surprise you with a guest, just like everybody else. I think it's only fitting that you guys don't know who is on the show. I mean, how do you feel about that?
A little nervous.
I'm in suspense.
Nervous last week. That was like your word.
I know.
Why were you nervous last week?
Well, you know that that thing that Joanne does where she goes around the room and asks everybody a word?
Oh, yeah. Right.
We did that last week, Lindsay, when you were asleep on the plane.
Yep.
And so we did that. And Andy said his word was nervous. He was nervous.
It's live, man.
Okay.
We're live. This is real. This is real life going down right here.
We are live. We are live. And nice background, Andy.
You're getting a lot of love on your background.
Andy, where are you?
I'm in the North Woods, Jay.
Still in the North Woods. Okay. Let's get into it because they really want to know who the guest is. How's that? How is that?
We all want to know.
We all want to know.
We have to know.
We need to know.
Okay, so I'm going to give some hints. Okay. I'm going to give some hints, and I want the feed first. First, can you do me a favor and go down right below this little window here and smash that thumbs up button? That would be really helpful. I just learned that we needed to do that like 6 weeks ago because we're not that good at YouTube, but maybe we'll learn more tonight and we'll be better at YouTube tonight. So smash that button down there, that thumbs up for us. All right. And I want the feed to throw some ideas out there. Who is the guest? I'm going to give you some hints real quick before we bring him in here. All right. This person is from the Chicagoland area, Schaumburg, Illinois. That's close to where you're from, Andy.
Yep. Very close. Very close.
Right. This person once worked at the Old Town School of Folk Music.
Cool shop.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Iconic place.
Yep. This person has been to the Taylor factory at least 2 times that I know of. This person wears glasses. This person has reviewed a few guitars on the YouTubes in the past. Anybody? Who is it? Who is it? Paul Tobias. You're right. It's Paul Tobias. Just kidding. It's not Paul Tobias. All right. We got a couple more. This person loves hockey. They're an acoustic guitar expert. They have the greatest beard on the internet. He may be the biggest guitar geek I know. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Polecastro. Where'd he go? There he is.
He's got a Hawks jersey on.
He's got something on. What is that?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sweet. Nice.
Tony.
Throwback.
Did you do that on purpose?
I did. I knew you guys talked about sports, so I figured I'd play the game.
Well, it's Acoustic Tuesday. Welcome to Acoustic Tuesday.
Yeah, we're in the Acoustic Tuesday set right now.
We are in the Acoustic Tuesday set. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Polecastro, a great friend of ours at Taylor Guitars. And I thought, what a better show for the 1-year anniversary. We had to have Tony in here. I love it.
Absolutely.
Tony Polecastro,
Nice.
great friend of ours. What happened?
I think
That was
he's having
weird.
some echo issues.
I got a little echo.
Bro.
Yeah.
Is that better?
You guys hear me okay?
We can hear you now.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
You're on the set of
Having some weird delay action happening.
Oh.
well, we're just gonna have to fight through. We're gonna muscle through this.
Still kind of weird. Let me try.
All right.
We're live, baby.
We're live, baby.
That's what happens.
Tony doesn't know about the episode where Bob had to where his
Oh,
internet died.
that was fantastic.
But welcome, Tony. Zebo. You've been asking for him, Z.
How about now?
You're good now. Are you good? Can you hear us, or you have latency?
I still have I've got a weird delay happening. It's pretty significant.
Ooh,
Try this. Try this. Ready? Go away.
leave the show.
Go away.
Come back in.
Back. Is that any better?
Check.
Yeah, you're good. We hear you.
Well, yeah, you're fine on our end, but
Oh, that's good.
okay.
I think we're good. It was working before.
What a painful process. Whatever. We'll get through this. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're excited about the show. Thank you for joining us live every Tuesday. We appreciate you guys. Every Tuesday for at least 44 of those Tuesdays in the last year. We're pumped on that. We're stoked to have Tony on the show. Tony, the way the show works is we have a couple of segments. We're going to run through those segments real quick. We have some trivia at the end of the show where we're going to give away a prize. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one question tonight because we are giving away a full-size Taylor, all-black Taylor stool. So a guitar stool, so you can hang out and play guitar on it in your guitar room. Andy, I had to go digging because for the last few weeks we haven't had any hate. And it's such a bummer to not have any hate. So I went and I dug and I found some hate on like 4 episodes ago.
Uh-oh.
Comments. So
Wow.
because it's been a year, we need to celebrate that hate.
Yeah.
We do have a Hug Your Haters.
Okay.
Gabe, do you want to roll the clip? Oh, it's so good. Andy, do you have a song?
Everybody needs a hug these days. Maybe now more than ever. It's been a year since I started singing that. It feels like 10 or 70 dog years. But hey, we can be schmaltzy like a simple 251. There's always love for Bob and Andy and the things that they have done. But us 3 prime timers, we hug haters. It's the right thing to do. Together, we'll make it through.
We lost Tony,
Yeah.
but we know he'll come back. Tony
will.
will come back.
He
He was
always-
like,
Tony's
he's like,
this is silly. I'm out of here.
my show's better. I'm out.
What am I doing? I'm ruining my brand right now. That's what he's
I'm
saying.
totally ruining my brand. I'm out of here, but I'll be back soon. Anyway, let's read Hug Your Haters and we'll move on because we do have we have the draft. That's
I like
coming.
your new song. I like your change up there.
The swing section.
Yeah, the swing section.
Multi-section.
Mhm.
That was good. That was good. I
Nice.
loved it. Okay, the hate. All right, ready? Love Bob, Andy, their guitars. Not a fan of this schmaltzy format.
The rest of the show.
The rest of the show. The whole show, actually.
the whole show,
Yeah.
right? Not just the upgrades, just the
Love
show.
the guys, love the guitars, but
Yeah.
not a fan of the
Okay.
schmaltiness.
I actually really love
Schmaltzy.
I love Andy's. Here he comes. See, I told you, Tony's coming. He's backstage.
It is.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show.
Well, what I wanted to do was play a little magic trick. That's it. I wanted everybody to know it was live, and
Yes.
it is. So here we are.
Here it is.
Dude, don't worry about it at all. So there was an episode we have with our director of sales, Dave Pelletier, and we played this really cool video that we had made, a spotlight video that we made on Tobias Music, Paul Tobias's shop in Downers
Sure.
Brook. And when we came out of that, I was gone.
Mhm. For a while.
It
For a
was
while.
That's right. Yeah.
for a while. What had happened, then I get a text message from the internet service provider that said someone ran over the internet in your neighborhood, basically. It'll only be 5 minutes. So I believe I was gone for about 5 minutes. So anyway,
Yeah.
you're back.
Welcome.
And you're back. And we just did a Hug Your Haters, and the Hug Your Hate was good. So we're
Good.
going to go into the next segment. Okay. So Tony, here's how this next segment works. It's called the draft. We draft. It's like the NHL draft or the MLB draft, where we draft 5 of something, right? We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the subject is. It's flown in there. So Gabriel's going to put it on screen once we have another useless video clip and then a song. Then Gabriel will put that on the screen and we'll do the draft. The draft is actually really fun because none of us know what to expect. So, Gabriel, you want to roll the clip? Low key, that was probably my band when I was in high school.
Was it probably or was it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't, but I wanted to be in that band. In high
Okay.
Your neck is sore just watching that clip right
Yeah.
now.
Take it away.
This is a new game. Please don't laugh. Play a new game called the draft. We don't know the subject. We don't even know why. But it's a new game called the draft.
Mom, you know that was your favorite one yet. Tony, my mom watches the show every single week, so we got to
Love it.
shout outs. Anyway, Andy, that was fantastic. Did you practice that?
I kind of just made it up, Jay.
Amazing.
Can you tell?
In the North Woods.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the draft so that everybody's waiting. They want to draft their whatever the subject is too.
Yeah.
All right, Gabriel, show us the subject. Tonight's draft, 5 artists you want to see play together for the first big gig back after COVID. That is awesome.
5 artists.
We're designing a show. That is fantastic.
We're designing like a festival.
So it's like 5 musicians that we want in a band that we want to see, or is it 5 different groups we want to see? Just
I think you can make it what you want to, but I'm gonna go with 5 bands that I want to see on a bill. That seems like a good one.
Okay. All right.
5 artists I want to see on a bill, and simply because it's awkward and it puts them on the spot, the guest has to go first.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm ready to
we're
go.
gonna do a crisscross here is how I see it. So we're gonna go Tony, Lindsay, Andy, Jay. There we go. Oh
So
man.
Can I offer a little context first? I feel like some of my choices and selections might need some justification. That's my post-COVID bash is going to be it's going to cross all genres. It's going to be everything I've wanted for the last year and a half, 2 years. So we're going to kick things off with an artist that really hasn't toured since like 7 years ago, maybe 10 even. And I'm going to go with Kelly Jo Phelps, singer-songwriter, solo finger picker. Love the guy. A nice mellow act to kick things off.
Wow, that's a good one. Andy, who's your first?
I don't have an order, but I think my festival, my one day out post-COVID event, it's going to be pretty epic. And
okay, leave it at that, or are you going to tell us who it is?
The show is Flaming Lips are gonna open the show, Jay.
Oh, open.
Wait, are we not talking? We're not gonna just.
I'm following Tony because he had he's going with the mellow opener, so I'm gonna just follow that format. No pressure, Lindsay. You can do whatever you want, but
yeah, I don't know that I would have this I have her as an opener because she's just amazing. But I'm just throwing out 5 headliners. I think that's what we're gonna call them. I'm gonna go with I want to see her perform immediately.
Rats.
Yeah.
Now you took her. I was hoping so. I was like, fingers crossed behind my back over here, hoping you wouldn't take that. I'm gonna start the party out right. Yep. I am going to start the party out right. I'm going to open with a mellow band. Very mellow, low key, because I'm following the low key thing. Not rock at all. Not, has never been in an iconic band. They aren't an iconic band. Someone you've never heard of before, but I'm going to go with the Foo Fighters.
Come on. That's a good one.
Yeah, Foo Fighters. Rock and roll. All right, Tony.
So second act, singer-songwriter, solo guy first. We're going to up it a little bit. We're going to stay in the solo realm, though. We're not going full band yet. I can't dip my toe in that water quite yet.
Okay.
Because we're working up to something big. I want you to know we're working up to something big that's not related to any of the artists that will be preceding the headliner. I'm going to go with my good musical friend, Charlie Parr. It's been about a year since I've seen him. I'd love to see him live, and I'd love to see him follow Kelly Jo Phelps.
That's fantastic. I like how you're designing this show. This is fantastic. I love it. Okay, Lindsay.
I think Andy's next.
You're next.
No, Andy was. I went after Andy.
Andy's next.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with a Canadian band called Great Lakes Swimmers, which is gonna like kick it down a little bit after the opener, after the lips blow up. It'll give the groundskeepers a little time to sweep up all the confetti, right, and put the floating balls away. And then the Great Lakes Swimmers are gonna come in and just chill everybody out and kind of prepare them for the rest of the day.
I love it.
I do too.
Great. Who's all right?
All right.
Speed is also blowing up.
Seriously.
All right, Lindsay.
Yeah, I have. They would not be on the same bill most likely, but either way, they are today. I want to see Ghost Notes, Mono Neon, Spud, Nate Worthy, their band, Ghost Notes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I want to see them live.
They could be their own 5.
They could.
Bill,
They could.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I love it. Okay, so the next one's pretty easy for me because I want to keep the party going, but I'm going to bring it down in a weird way. I want to make it a little bit more dancey, a little bit more like we just want to have fun. This is an artist I worked with in the past, very closely. I actually helped release their first record. It is a duo from New York City. They now live in Los Angeles. They are called Matt and Kim. And if you've seen a Buick commercial in the last 7 years, you've heard a Matt and Kim song. So dancey, fun, vibey. That's where I'm going. All right, Tony, number 3.
Oh man. Now this is where things are going to get dicey, folks. I mean, I have the opportunity to bring it up. I have the opportunity to go bring it down. I can gradually move up to the headliner. You guys are both Andy and Lindsay are making me kind of question some of my initial choices. Jay, I feel like I'm still tracking with you.
Eclectic and all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna go with I'll go with Billy Strings with special guest Molly Tuttle. That's how I can eke out an extra artist. So Billy Strings with special guest Molly Tuttle.
Molly Tuttle. Oh, that's a special guest right there.
That's a good one.
That is a great one.
We're sitting at that's the number 3 spot. This is when things are getting good. People are getting lubricated. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. Andy, my favorite part during this is Andy's stat book that he's looking down. He's got the pitch count down. Like he knows exactly what's going down.
In my number 3 slot, I'm gonna put Peter Gabriel, and I want Manu Katché to play drums in that band for sure. He hasn't played in the band for a while, but Tony Levin, Manu Katché, rhythm section.
Peter Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
that's good.
You're making me rethink my next one.
I told you it was going to be epic, man. I'm going epic.
That's good.
I know, Philip. I hear you, Lindsay.
Yeah, I know, Vic. I do want to see.
I see. Oh, Vic G, the winner of the San Francisco Giants hat.
Yeah, he's right. I honestly, more than ever, I do want to like see some of the like pioneers of these genres. Like I want to see Stevie, of course. Like and Earth. I want to see Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't know who to choose because I do want to see them after this is over. I guess I can't pick them right now though. One of them will be have to my last. I think I'm gonna have to pick my girl Judith Hill. I want to see her in concert. I want to see her perform. Baby, I'm Hollywood. I want that tour.
Okay, then I get her for Americana.
No. She's gonna perform that during Baby I'm Hollywood tour. She's gonna perform the whole album. So I got her for everything.
I get it, but let me just I'll co-op and like do like a weird live feed of her playing your show.
There you go. Okay. Fair enough.
Gosh, she's so great.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get this party going. I'm going on this one, and I'm going kind of metal. I have to. I have been wanting for a very long time, but I'm gonna do it. Let's make it weird. In the words of Sharpie, I miss that guy. We should bring him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I just saw him like
I did
recently. I don't know why.
deja vu.
I had a dream.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should bring him on the show, though. He's such a
I'm
great
not
guy.
sure if that's.
But let's make it weird. I'm gonna go with Tool.
Ooh.
So I did. Oh, this is weird. All right, Tony, who's your number 4?
Oh no. Okay. Wow. See, I was gonna try and keep it. I was gonna try and graduate to the metal genre. I was trying to work my way there, and you just said Tool. And now I'm kind of freaking out a little bit.
Come on,
And
that last Tool record was spectacular.
Yeah. You guys are. Okay.
I bad.
I got about 30 artists in my head right now. Let me do this. Let me go with. I'm looking at the comments right now, and it's killing me. I'm gonna go. Okay, here comes my curveball. We're gonna have a feel-good band right before the headliner, and this is gonna appeal to my pop punk guilty pleasure. We're going Blink-182.
All right.
San Diego. Yes. Blink-182. That's so good. With Tom DeLonge singing or Matt Skiba?
Tom.
Okay, so
Tom,
the
with
OG
Tom.
lineup.
Old, yeah.
So that means no one can book Angels and Airwaves.
That's correct.
Okay. So Tom DeLonge, Blink-182 with Tom DeLonge, San Diego roots. This is awesome. All right, Andy.
My number 4 slot. I'm gonna put Queens of the Stone Age, Jay. And it just starts to go off the rails. I mean, you know.
Andy, that is so good. All right, that's great. Lindsay,
Yeah.
she's in pain.
I am. I have what? Because we have 2 more, right? Is that 2 more?
This is your 4th.
This is my 4th. Yeah. Well, let's see. So, Kendrick Lamar was an amazing concert that I went to a couple years ago. J. Cole just dropped his album, and it is unbelievable. So I'm gonna go see him live because his live band is gonna be ridiculous. I already know. He's gonna be amazing, and the band he has supporting him is gonna be phenomenal. So
okay, sidebar, Lindsay, you're killing me with the 1-up.
What are you talking about?
You're like right.
What are you?
I'm like, I'm going J. Cole. I'm going. J. Cole. I'm going J. Cole, and you're
sorry.
like, I'm gonna go with J. Cole, and it's as if we. Okay. Well, now that you took J. Cole, I can do a reunion tour.
Yes.
Or I'm gonna weigh my options real quick. And I'm gonna put my options on a platter, and I'm gonna allow the group here as we see. My first option is Andy Lund playing all the Primetime songs.
Yes, that's the only option. The only option. or that's headliner material right there.
Or all the Primetime songs, or Mos Def and Talib Kweli Black Star reunion.
Oh.
I think that's a better choice, Jay.
Yeah, but Andy, you could be in the band.
Okay.
All right.
That's true. You can do
Black Star reunion with Andy Lund playing guitar.
Wow.
That's my number 4. All right, Tony. Now we're bringing it home. Who is your last artist?
So this one has a story. So pre-COVID, I purchased 2 sets of tickets to see this band in Nashville and in Austin. I was going to take my my soon-to-be 14-year-old son. We were just going to go enjoy it. Didn't happen. So I have to put them in my headliner spot. I did see the name floating around in the comments, and it's Slipknot. Slipknot's my number 1.
That is the ultimate cross-genre band. If I could do a documentary with just my face talking, it would be boring. But I'm telling you, Tony, that is such a great choice.
It's a good one.
Oh, great choice. All right, Andy.
My show is going to close with Muse.
Ooh.
And there you go. I mean, we're using a lot of electricity in this show.
Wow.
Our carbon footprint needs to be offset somehow, so I'm gonna have to work on that part of it too.
Wow. That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
You did like a show sandwich. That was great. That's like an awesome burrito of sound.
It's really good.
The
All
big
right.
two.
Well,
Muse. Oh, we're all going to each other's shows.
I think so for
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, we're not gonna miss out at all. Nobody's missing out here. We're gonna just go to each other's shows. I think I'm gonna have to. I was gonna say like Beyonce puts on a show that like people of like back in the days used to put on. It's very elaborate, very Michael Jackson-esque. No one does it like him though. But because I didn't get to see Michael and I didn't get to see Prince, I have to see Stevie. So I'm going to throw Stevie in there. Like I have to see him. If he does anything this year, I am going. That's for sure. I don't care where it is. Like I have to see Stevie.
I would pretty much sell this hat to go see. I mean, and every hat that I own, I would do anything to see Stevie Wonder play.
Right? Yeah.
I've never seen him live, and I would straight up fly. I would find the money to charter private airfare, a jet, pick up my mom, and take her to see Stevie Wonder.
It's commitment. Yeah, that's really sweet. Yeah.
Like that would be incredible.
I'll chip in if I can join the flight.
All right, I gotta figure this out because I'm gonna win this game.
It's competition.
I didn't.
I'm not gonna win this game. You know what? I'm just gonna go with somebody. Speaking of my mom, it's COVID. It's been a pandemic. There's been a pandemic, Tony. I don't know if you knew this, but there's a thing with pandemic. We haven't been able to hang out. So like hanging out with my mom would be absolutely wonderful. And I if it's okay, can I have a pass to reuse someone from last week? Is that okay?
It's your show, man.
It's not my show. It's your show. But anyway, I would love. Nope, I'm not going to reuse. Mom, you and I are going to see Neil Diamond.
Nice.
Oh,
That's a good one. I like that one.
There you go. No eye contact and all. My mom once told me that Neil Diamond looked into her eyes while she was at the show. And I believe it. Mom, we're going to see Neil Diamond. There you go. And I would also love to see Tony Polecastro in a show, at a concert. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been tonight's draft. We're going to get on with the show. We promise this isn't going to take forever. Sometimes people are like, oh man, stay on for 2 hours. I could watch it. Tony, when we have Bob on the show, he's trying to like go the distance.
I've done a podcast. I could see that happening.
Yeah. You did a podcast with Bob.
Yeah.
Right. You've been on the From the Factory podcast, which, newsflash, we are going to rejuvenate the From the Factory podcast for those of you who are podcast fans, the Taylor podcast. We lost my co-host decided to move on, and his name's Cameron Walt, and we love him dearly. And he decided to go, kind of actually become a partner at a PR firm, which is fantastic. And so he left Taylor to go do his own thing, and we couldn't be prouder. But our podcast has been put on hold for just a little bit. We are kicking it off shortly, so stick around. It's going to be fun. Tony, welcome to the show. This is Taylor Primetime, the guitar nerd talk show. And you are, like I said earlier, probably the biggest guitar geek that I know. And it would have been, there's no better guest to have for our year anniversary episode. So how are you?
I'm fantastic, and I really appreciate you guys welcoming me aboard here. I'm just delighted to be here, and this is extremely fun. If the first 30 minutes, even with me disappearing and my magic act coming back, if that's any indicator of how this is going to go, I'm super pumped.
All right, so this show's pretty easy. All right. I start with this question for every single guest who's ever been on the show. And it goes like this. Tony Polecastro, what in the heck do you do?
Well, Jay, Lindsay, Andy, I'm trying to figure that. No, I'm just kidding. I am the co-founder of Tony's Acoustic Challenge, the host of the Acoustic Tuesday show. That's kind of the quick Cliff's Notes version. But my main mission is to help people discover that guitar can be fun and fulfilling. Help them lock in a solid guitar routine that is fun, that is focused amongst all the distraction that's out there today so that they can have daily progress that keeps them going. Time and time again, I do hear that, yeah, I played guitar back in high school and gosh, I haven't thought about the guitar in a while. I sure would like to play. And there's this huge hurdle of, I don't know if I can really get back into it. I did it then, but can I do it now? And it's kind of my main mission to help people discover that love again, or for the first time for that matter.
Yeah. You know,
That's awesome.
we had you on the podcast, and if you guys want to hear a really good podcast, maybe we'll link it if I can find it during the show. I'll link it in the comments after the show. But it was an awesome episode. One of the things that we dialed in and you spoke about was your goal to have people achieve small wins with their guitar playing. Will you explain that? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's funny you brought it up because in the last, I guess it was a pandemic prompt for me. I actually became a Tiny Habits certified coach, which is a program done by BJ Fogg. He's a PhD and he studies habits specifically. And one of his key ingredients is making your habit small enough and to keep a habit successful, to actually keep a habit and make it lock in is to feel good about it. So he calls it celebration and I call it small wins. And it's funny because we've been developing the TAC method for some time, and that's always been baked into the TAC method. And members have always said, oh, this really works. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm seeing my progress. And then I take this class and I'm like, oh, there's science behind it. That's pretty awesome. So the small wins, identifying a small win is really crucial. And that's after you're done playing the guitar for the day, be it 10 minutes, be it 5 minutes, just ask yourself the question, what went well today? What's one thing that went well? And I can guarantee that there is something. And the catch-22 is that as guitar players, we always look down the road and we always want to do more, do better. And I think 90% of the focus is usually on what we can't do. But if you shift that and say, well, what did I do? What did I do better? You start to create this positive momentum. And ultimately that kind of fosters your guitar routine. It makes you want to keep coming back to the guitar because you're doing good. And quite honestly, everybody that plays is doing good. You just have to really look for those small wins and highlight them because it does help you lock in your guitar habit, your guitar routine.
That's wonderful. So obviously you play guitar a lot.
I do.
What is your practice routine? What do you do? Do you practice? We've had a few instructors on the show. We had Nicholas Vinaglu was on the show. We had Carrie Too Smooth on the show. We've had different people, different players with different, opinions and coaching styles and teaching styles. What is your draw up a perfect practice routine for us?
Yeah, I mean, I have to start with the title. It's going to sound really weird, really kind of off the wall. I don't practice. I focus on playing the guitar. And I encourage others to focus on playing the guitar. And I was thinking about this as I was driving to the studio today, because I was convinced we were going to talk about playing and whatnot. And I thought, because my wife and I, Whitney, our son is 8 months old. I have an 8-month-old and a 14-year-old, both ends of the spectrum. And he's working on just trying to crawl, and all he does is he just rolls around the floor and we're just playing with him. he's not thinking in his head, oh, I gotta put in my practice time today because I gotta figure out this crawling thing because walking's next and I gotta practice crawling. Like, kids in general don't think about that. And I think if we continue to frame guitar as practice conjures up a lot of really dull, dreary images of, metronomes and just boring academia. I want people to play the guitar. And for me, what my playing routine looks like is after Emerson, my youngest son, goes to bed so he's usually in bed by 7, and it's crazy, but the kid's on a good schedule. He's sleeping through the night. I can't believe it. After he goes to bed, it's usually about 7:15, 7:30. Then I go down to my little guitar room and I play for a minimum of 10 minutes. I have to get 10 minutes in. And as long as I play for those 10 minutes, I feel good. Anything beyond that, which oftentimes it's much, much beyond that, is bonus time. If I get that minimum 10 minutes in, I feel good. And I can leave my guitar room for the night. I can go to bed and I still feel like, okay, got it in. I've worked on something today. Before that existed, I was all over the place. I'd put in an hour at the beginning of the week, and then it'd be 3 days where I didn't play. I'm talking, prior to Tony's Acoustic Challenge. And even at the beginning of starting Tony's Acoustic Challenge, I was still trying to find my own routine. But now I have this dialed in. It's 7 days a week. I mean, it's it's interesting because I play guitar for a living, both, teach and play gigs and whatnot. But I still have to carve out time to play the things that I want to play and work on. So that's kind of my routine. It's the same time, it's the same place, and I just focus on playing the guitar. I have things that I work on, of course, but I just really focus on the fulfillment and the joy that it brings me, because that's what keeps me coming back.
And that's what it does. It's magical. We're a manufacturer. This is obviously Taylor's show, and you got this nice sign behind me, right? That's what we do. We're a manufacturer, but at the end of the day, we build guitars for people to create memories with and to exercise their creativity and their art. And everybody has all these different opinions on what's good. That's why I like the draft, right? Throw these, Lindsay has introduced some great musicians to me. Andy has we've created this bond. I was listening to a Pet Shop Boys record on Saturday, and I sent him a video of it. I'm like, dude, so good, right? And the first thing he replies with is, I wish I had some Pet Shop Boys on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's music. So really focusing on the let's make something musical and keeping it fun. That's really great, man. How did you get started? I mean, a lot of us know you from, Acoustic Letter. Like, you were doing stuff. You were working at a shop there in Bozeman and Music Villa. Yeah. And you started doing stuff there. How did you get started doing that?
So that's it. I have to give a huge shout out to my best friend, Levi. I was teaching guitar and working at the store as a salesperson before the Acoustic Letter even existed. And he came to me with this idea, and he was like, hey, could you review a guitar? And I was like, well, yeah, I think I did one a long time ago, and I think it's probably somewhere on YouTube. And you can find it. People have sent it to me. It was for a company called Gearwire. And this was probably maybe 2009, 2008. And it's a very short-haired, short-bearded, awkward Tony who was just trying to fake it through a guitar review. And so I showed him that clip, and he's like, well, would you want to try it again? I've got this idea. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I'm all about it. So we started that. I want to say that started 2011, late 2010. And it just kind of started to pick up steam from there. We tried a bunch of stuff at first, and some stuff was great. Some stuff wasn't so great. We tried different instruments, and then we kind of just settled on locking in the guitar and presenting different guitars under the same circumstances, because, this allows any guitar geek to pull up multiple videos and compare them right on the spot without having to necessarily be there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. In fact, we were so impressed by it. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it. Maybe you haven't, but we did a version of it on our own website, right? Where we had a good friend of ours, a former employee at Taylor Guitars, his name's Michael Lilly, play open chord, a finger style lick, and a strumming pattern. The same thing for every single guitar that we market and represent on our website.
Yeah.
And it is, you started something that it really works. And kudos to that. I mean, you guys and Acoustic Letter, they're still doing
it's
stuff.
Still yeah, Quentin and Paul are keep kind of carrying the torch forward. Quentin, Paul, and Dustin, I should say. And I'd still enjoy, I mean, I still watch it. It's so cool to have been on the formation end of it, and that just to see it continue on. And Quentin's a friend of mine, and we played in a couple bands together, and obviously, I worked for Paul, so it's really cool to see it continue.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So let's go into a little bit more, and then I've got some useless questions that I'm going to ask you. It's just useless information that people need to know about you. Okay.
Sure.
So, Acoustic Life TV, that's your website, right?
It's TonyPolecastro.com is essentially the website for Tony's Acoustic Challenge. But we do have kind of the show, the Acoustic Tuesday show website, acousticlife.tv.
All right. So TonyPolecastro.com is where they can find everything, correct?
Yes.
And that's where you can go sign up. So how do you take people how does someone get a lesson from Tony?
So it is a membership. And people can sign up per quarter, per year, or a lifetime membership. And you actually, this is something I'm extremely, I don't know if proud is the right word, but we actually have people go through a class before they can become a member, because we want to make sure that everyone that comes into the membership has the same values and is focused on the same thing. And it's really about adapting this philosophy of a guitar routine that is fun, that has focus, will get you progress. And it's almost in a way, it's helping people use the platform, the philosophy, for their own benefit. It doesn't mean you come in one end and we get the same exact result out of the other end. It just means that people come in with this philosophy that they can apply to their own guitar journey and get what they need. Meaning, we have beginners coming in learning guitar for the first time. And we've seen results from that. We have people that have we have members that have been there ever since the beginning, 2014, and they're still chugging away doing their routine. And they're playing, open mics. A lot of them are virtual now, but they're still playing open mics, writing their own songs. And it's such a, I'm extremely proud of it. I think it's something really special. And I think the members feel that as well. I think they feel that they're truly part of a group that we really are we look out for one another. The guitar environment can be super, super comparative. It can be full of distraction, and that's not what we have. We've got people that are aligned, and they just want to help each other out, get to their own unique goals.
It is competitive, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. You've demoed every single brand on the market, I feel. You've held many different manufacturers. You may have certain guitars. It's really funny. Sometimes we often have to remind people when we were open to the public and we gave tours. We had to remind people who were like afraid to say things like I own a Martin or I own a Gibson or I play Fenders or I have a Larrivee, et cetera, Bourgeois, Collings. I'm like, all of us are. If you tell somebody at Taylor that, we're all kind of like, ooh, what Martin do you have? I have a D35. And you're like, oh, is it this one? Like we get really excited about that. You've demoed instruments, I mean, some of your favorites. I'm sure you could go you have a list of what your favorites are. Do you remember the first Taylor that you demoed?
I do. I remember the first Taylor. In fact, I looked it up before we started this today.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because. Okay. What is it?
It's it was a Taylor 856 CE, and the review was posted on March 4th, 2011, almost over 10 years ago.
Holy smokes! Hey, when did Andy Powers join Taylor or come to work at Taylor? Lund, do you know?
It was 2010, wasn't it? Or it was around there, right? 10 or 11? 10?
That's a good trivia question, Jay.
That's a good trivia question. Guess what?
You
We
just
don't
stumped
know
all
the- we don't know the answer, so we probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably shouldn't answer that. We have to ask him.
That's how low budget the show is sometimes, Tony. We've been known to ask questions that we don't
That
know.
we don't know the answers to.
Anyway, that's great that you actually looked it up. You're like, I'm doing a Taylor thing. I better look it up. That's fantastic. You've hung out with Bob. You came out and did some interviews with Bob, and you did a interview with Andy. You've done some interviews with Andy.
Yeah.
What did you think about Andy Powers when he was brought to Taylor Guitars?
To be honest, I didn't know much prior to him coming to Taylor. However, once I found out his name, I can't stop but start. I can't do anything but dig. I have to dig. It's kind of part of my job. So knowing that he was an extremely accomplished luthier in his own right, and then seeing the work he's done with Taylor, and it was pretty darn amazing. So yeah, I didn't have any preconceived notions prior to, the announcement that he was coming to work with Taylor. But after I found out he was, I figured there were some good things coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, he's a wild dude, isn't he?
He's a mad scientist. He's a legit mad scientist. Okay,
so let me tell you a story about Tony. So we invited Tony out when we launched V-Class, and he was kind of like, I remember the conversation, but if anybody remembers the content or the video that we launched for V-Class, it was like this incredibly difficult to make flip shot of Andy Powers. And one of the things he was doing on the first shot was he was drawing in his sketchbook, and then we animated the sketches and they came to life. Yeah. And I remember what Tony said. You said, and so this is why we invited you out. Okay. So you called us out on Acoustic Tuesday, and you said, come on, sketchbooks. And it was so good that you called us out that I shot you a text message and said, hey, it's Jay. Can we fly you out? We need to show you this thing.
Yeah.
So we brought Tony out to show him V-Class bracing, and I had a guitar there for him. He hung out for a little bit with Andy. I believe we went right into a podcast, I think.
Yeah, it was a pretty busy day from what I recall.
Yeah. Then we gave you a guitar. We got you a guitar, and we took you to the hotel room and just said, play the guitar all night long.
Yeah.
I remember that picking you up from the hotel the next morning, and you were just like, this is wild.
Yeah.
That thing is wild. What was your first reaction when you played B-Class?
Like you said, I came to it with a lot of skepticism, a lot. I'm very much, I eat the same breakfast. I eat the same lunch. I am the routine. I am routine guy, not just in guitar land. I'm talking like my life. Same drive to work. Yeah, I'm a super exciting guy. So when I saw that, why would you change the X brace? It's worked for, since 1833, maybe before. I don't know when the exact date was. I just, in my head, I was like, why? Guitars are great. Why are we going to make them greater? And that's immediately where I went wrong, because it wasn't, this is better than this. It was really more of, this is different and solves a different problem, a problem that we didn't really even know existed. And that was the kind of complicated physics of the top of a guitar. And to get into Andy's brain and understand where that came from, and then to actually have to sit in a quiet room at the hotel and play that guitar, which was time incredibly well spent. I mean, there was not a lot of sleep that evening. It was amazing because the guitar had a completely different voice. Not in the senses that it sounded like a night and day difference. It had properties that I wasn't used to hearing. Sustain was probably the biggest one. And then I wrestled with the idea of intonation because, as I discussed with Andy, I had one specific definition of it, whereas Andy had another. And I think that was a huge moment of clarity for me as well.
Andy Lund, what did you think when you first played the V class?
I was skeptical as well, and I like what Tony just said because it's a new sound. It's a different sound, and you can argue, you can go back and forth on what you like better, and that's fine. And people will always do that, right? But the thing for me that Sustain is undeniable, but the intonation for me was a huge improvement. Like I was blown away, and I remember a lot of people online at the time and in forums were all like, "That's not possible. You can't fix intonation with bracing. That's not possible. Come on, you marketing guys. What are you talking about, right?" And I at first I was like, when he first started talking about it, it's hard to follow Andy sometimes, right? I mean, he that's the scientist part of him that you just spoke about, but when you can sit in a room and you can play it by yourself and you can play, like for me, the thing like that voice thing that you play at the 10th fret, that one, right? The A chord, the fifth of that chord is always flat, always, but not on V class. If you tune your guitar so open strings sound right, that inversion like really reveals the limits of just intonation and frets, right? But on his guitar, that goes away. That you don't need to pull that G string sharp,
right?
No pun intended.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Lindsay,
Yep.
what was your reaction?
Honestly, the same as both of theirs. Skeptical, and then those two things I found to be very true. The intonation, exactly what Andy just said. Like, you're always having to tweak that fifth on certain positions, or just even, I mean, there's other chords that you have to just tweak a little bit when you start to fret, and not on the V class. And so that proved to be true. And then the sustain is probably what the sustain with the intonation, Matt, like combined, the fact that the notes ringing out and it's not going flat. All those things proved to be true. So, but I was very skeptical at first, thinking, yeah, right. Like the X braces worked for so long, and it sounds great.
Right. So this is where we're airing some dirty laundry here. We were all skeptical, right? We were all skeptical, and then we had Andy on the show once, and I explained the marketing meeting that we had, and we had like pizza in the room, and everybody was enjoying their time with Andy. And at one point, Andy was explaining how a speaker cone worked, and he picked up this plate and it had like pizza on it, and he flips it up and the pizza goes everywhere, and he's like, a speaker cone goes like this. And he was just getting so animated about it. It was really great. I love the invention. I love Andy's brain is always about 5 years ahead of ours, and it's really incredible. We will have some really amazing guitar building that comes out, but it's okay. It's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if you choose to pick up an older Taylor with X brace, or a guitar that's made in our Tecate factory that still has X brace, et cetera, et cetera. It's totally okay for you guys to pick up these guitars and play them. It's subjective. It's wonderful. Tony, my other favorite story that I have of when you came to visit us for that same trip is when you told the story about how you called your dad before you were flying out. And you got to understand, Tony's dad is a big Martin guy. He's a Martin family, right? Martin's, and that's awesome. I mean, they have legacy. It's okay to love that brand. And he called and said, "Dad, I'm going out to the Taylor factory." And his dad said, "Why?" So good. That story will stick with me forever.
That is, you nailed it. And you almost nailed the tone as well.
Why?
Yeah.
It's so great. That one will always has me chuckle. So there's been times where, I like to have inside jokes and inside baseball and everything and sometimes people will say to me, I'm doing this or I'm doing that around the Taylor Factory guys, Andy, Lindsay. That's where it comes from when I say, why? That's where it comes from. So you all just learned a little bit about me. It's fantastic. He is a tried and true Martin guy, and that's okay. We love it. We love your dad for it. Before we get into the useless questions, Tony, I just want to talk. Just everybody needs to know this when they're talking to you, and that is, when did you start growing your beard, and how long has it been? How long has this journey been?
Okay. I think I have the date correct. I think it was St. Patrick's Day 2013. Now I say this because this is this iteration of the current beard, okay? Because I had a beard prior to that. But I was playing a house concert and I thought I got to look nice. This is a small, intimate 50-person show, like people paid to be here, like I got to look nice. I got to trim up the beard. I can't have it be, scraggly. So I'm trimming and I turned my head, but I didn't turn the shaver, and I cut a huge, it was like somebody took a bite out of my beard. So I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I can't fix this. The only way to fix this is to it's all got to go. So I showed up to the house concert. The guy that I was playing with, he's like, I don't even think he recognized me. And it was from that day, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not shaving. St. Patrick's Day, March 2013.
There you go.
And your beard is legendary.
It's
I absolutely love it, man. You know what? As we were creating the artwork for the show, we thought of it. We were trying to kick around ideas within the group, and it was, how are we going to do this? We need to hide the fact that it's Tony on the show. What are we going to do? And one of our art directors was, one of our designers drew this thing, and he did this nice, amazing, like, vector of you, and it looked identical. Like, I was like, well, okay, everybody's going to know who that is. So he did it again, and he just took the glasses off. And I was like, yeah, the book beard, it's just not going to, okay. And how can we figure this out? And then we ended up with the, nerd glasses and mustache. But that was, it's so good. Grave before shave, beard, brother. I bet you.
That's a good one.
I bet you. And every time I'm going to be around Tony at some point, I trim my beard down so I don't look like I'm even trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I shaved earlier. I trimmed earlier. Anyway, Tony, it's always so great to be around you, hang out with you. Let's roll into some useless questions.
Love it.
We'll keep this show going. We'll take some Q&A from the feed, and we'll move along. All right.
Love it.
So, Tony Polecastro, things that people need to know about you. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
It's mine too.
Me
Lindsay,
too.
what's your favorite color?
I don't have one.
Stop it. What's your favorite color?
I can't think. Because the fact that I can't give you one from the jump should tell you I don't think about it.
I don't have one. It's like
I've never thought about it.
It's like when I found out my father-in-law didn't have a middle name. I'm like, stop. All right. He doesn't have a middle name. His name's just Steve. It's great. Andy, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
All right. Okay. We got something good going on here. What is your favorite band and or artist?
Oh no. Just pick one.
It's gonna disappear again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go. No. I'm gonna say Tony Rice, but that's got about 3,000 asterisks after it.
Oh man. Yeah.
Wow.
I get it. What's your favorite song?
Church Street Blues. Not written by Tony Rice. I like Tony Rice's performance. It was originally written by Norman Blake.
Yep. What is the best live show you've seen?
Coulter Wall at a 50-person venue.
Wow. That had to be wild.
It was.
Where was it?
It was at there's a local small venue. It's called Live from the Divide. It's 50 seats. It's the most intimate venue I've ever experienced. And it blew me away. It was just him with a guitar for probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was incredible.
Wow. Lindsay, what's the best show you've ever been to?
Ooh, that's like a tie between like the Yellow Jackets and Stanley Clark. And both of them were at Anthology at the time. It's called the Music Box here in San Diego now, but it'd probably be a tie between those two.
Andy Lund, favorite show?
Lindsay, we were talking a minute ago. I have seen Stevie before, and I saw him in Champaign, Illinois. And I remember there was a quad system set up like there, and I actually set up a DX7 keyboard for him. I'm just like dropping.
Wow, dropping names and dropping experiences.
He came to town and he made this appearance on the U of I and the quad, and they needed a keyboard for him to play, and so I was the local keyboard salesman at the time, and I set up a keyboard for him, and I got to go back. I got to go to the show and did the after party thing too. It was an awesome show. It was great. So I hope you get to see him.
Oh.
So Tony, have you ever?
I didn't answer my question, Jay. Sorry, I was rambling. But my most memorable show is I saw.
Did you answer it? That wasn't your favorite?
That wasn't. No, he was just bragging. He was just bragging.
I was just making Lindsay feel like she made it definitely needed to see.
Mm-hmm.
My most memorable show was seeing the Division Bell tour, Pink Floyd at Soldier Field, which was also in quad.
He did the mic drop pull away.
I was yeah.
Oh wow, that's great. Okay. Do you remember the first Taylor you ever played?
First Taylor I ever played. Yeah, I was working at the Old Town School, and a student brought it in. And it was a cedar-topped model, and it knocked my socks off. I remember, in fact, that was the guitar that made me discover cedar, and I was like, "What is this magic? What is this wizardry?"
Wow, cedar top. Do you remember the model? You don't.
I don't.
714.
714, 514,
or 514,
or 514. Yeah,
I think it was a 514 because it was a Western red cedar top, and I want to say it was mahogany back. I can't remember.
Yeah, 514.
The cedar stands out to me.
Wow. And my very last question is Gordie Howe or Stan Mikita? Stan Mikita all day. That's not come on. We'll argue this later, Lund. All right, fine.
No. That's my era, man. That's my era. Blackhawks right there. Stan Mikita.
That's awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some questions from the feed. Producer Gabe is going to toss some questions up on the screen here. We'll go through a few rounds of that, and then we'll keep moving the show along and wrap this thing up. Man, you've been such a fantastic guest. Thank you so much. I agree with you, Hunter. Gordie Howe. Gabe, do you want to throw some questions up, please? Maybe. I agree. Come on, Mr. Hockey.
What kind of guitar did you burn in your promo video? Sorry, did I just step on your toes, Jay? I didn't mean to read the question.
Read it. You know what? You're really good at this, so I'm following your lead.
That's a lot of pressure. The kind of guitar we burned, it was actually one of three. We ordered the least expensive guitar we could order on Amazon. We ordered three of them because I didn't get the first two burns correctly. Didn't get the first two burns right. That's what I meant to say.
That's fantastic. All right. Next question, please. Three desert island guitarists.
I'm going to go with okay, if I had to take guitars out of my current collection, I have a 1935 Martin Single 017. That's got to go with me. I've got a custom bourgeois Cocobolo back and sides, torrefied Italian spruce top. That's got to go. And I gotta bring one of my resonators. It's a Beard Guitars Model E that I just got from the Guitar Sanctuary in Texas. It's a Model E, all flame maple with a hip shot tuner on it. It's pretty awesome. Those are the three.
You got to bring a resonator.
I have to.
Yeah, it's your thing. You got to bring one. That's fantastic. Gabriel, any more questions? Tony, even the most accomplished guitarist has some kind of goal. What's yours? That is a great question, Ken Rogers.
That is a good question, Ken. I appreciate the heck out of that because, I try and set big goals are awesome, and I love big goals, and I love working towards them. But I like to look at them in 90-day chunks. Basically, for me, if I can accomplish a goal in 3 months, it keeps me going towards the big one. I think my big grand goal is to make guitar and music a part of my everyday family life, always, until I am no longer here. It's something that's really important to me. It's something that I discovered way later in life because I was kind of blind to it. My dad played guitar growing up, but I didn't really get started or didn't get interested until I was about 18. And for me that's the big goal for me, is to continue to make music and guitar a part of my family life. And every 3 months or so, I'm working on new songs, writing new stuff, and that's kind of what keeps me progressing. And I always do it around the kids and my wife as well.
That's wonderful. More questions? Tony,
what's your favorite Taylor guitar?
Tony.
And also, are you a fan of Taylor Swift? I'll answer that one right away. Love Taylor Swift. Love me some Tay-Tay all the way through. From that very first album where she was like the blue water in the background and the crimped hair. Great album. To now. I don't even know what she's doing now. She's dropping all these like Americana-y type things. Indie. I don't know how you can be indie when you're that status, but hell, I love it.
She's working with wonderful writers, man, and like collaborators. It's like she's putting herself and seating herself, and I'm a fan too.
Huge fan. Great admiration for somebody that can keep it together that long. Mm-hmm. Favorite Taylor. It's really, it's a three-way tie. The GS Mini is my long favorite. I have one right next to me, right here. This guy. But I also, the short scale 12 string, I think it's a 356. Am I correct? I might have the number wrong. All mahogany short scale 12 string. Blew my mind. No, I think I have the number wrong. I think it's a 500 series. And then the baritone you guys did was all mahogany. Maybe that was the 326. I had one of those. I had to sell it, and I'm not thrilled about that. Three-way tie. Can't pick one. Sorry.
I'm all about the baritones. I get that. I back you on that one. Gabriel, 3 more questions.
How many takes did you need to do Don't Let Me Die in California Christie's? That was in terms of video, that was a 1 take. No, that was 2, because they only had 1 camera, so we had to perform it twice. But prior to that, there was a heck of a lot of rehearsing going on.
Good answers.
Good
we should have Tony on for rapid fire. He actually rapid fire.
He does some rapid fire. Yeah.
We tried Bob and Andy on for rapid fire. It doesn't work. Like Bob's faster than Andy, but it's still. And then you want to listen to them because it's Bob and Andy.
Yeah.
They're inspiring dudes.
Totally.
Any more questions, Gabriel?
No, it's been a couple years. Can you reveal what secret things Andy showed him at the end of the podcast? I don't know if I can.
I can.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know what that was? Holy smokes. It's great. Yes. He showed you the very first Grand Pacific.
Oh, that's right.
Right. He showed you, but Andy Lund, you might remember the Grand Pacific. So That was the Grand Pacific that he was the first Grand Pacific shape that he had put V-Class in. And remember, we had done the V-Class launch and he had these V-Class guitars. I think, Andy, you might know this. He originally did it in a regular Taylor Dreadnought. I think it was like a short scale Taylor Dreadnought, I want to say. And then he had a couple, and boy, I can't remember the tone wood on it, but it was like spruce top, and then
is that the guitar that Sakimoto has?
It might be.
I have to ask Eric. I think Eric might have one of those guitars.
I think he bought it at one of the friends and family sales. But yes, it was the Grand Pacific.
Funny story, if I can divulge one about the Grand Pacific. So I was at a session here in town, and I recorded a rhythm track on a Thompson mahogany, Cuban mahogany backed Adirondack spruce Thompson, and we were going to put leads over it. And the engineer was in the other room. There wasn't any glass, so he wasn't seeing me. And I had the Grand Pacific, one of the Grand Pacifics that you sent me. And so we record the lead part, and through the talkback, he's like, that Thompson is ridiculous. And I'm like, it's not the Thompson. It's a 517. And I chose it for the lead. He's like, it's so clear. And I'm like, that's not the guitar. That's not the Thompson. It was the Grand Pacific.
I'm telling you, man, the 517 is a secret weapon. People need to have one.
It's so good.
And I cannot stress that enough. I mean, because you sent a rosewood and a mahogany, and I'm a sucker for rosewood, and I was like, I'm gonna play the hell out of this. I ended up playing that mahogany guitar probably 90% of the time.
I know, it's a wonderful guitar. Gabriel would tell you it's the best Taylor he's ever played. It's such a good guitar. So if you haven't tried a 517, just do yourself a favor. It's wonderful. All right, let's do one more question from the feed, Gabriel, and then we'll move on to some good stuff.
Who's your bet to win the Stanley Cup this year?
Not the Blackhawks or
No. Hawks. Yeah, well, that's another story. Who's my pick to win? You know who I'd like to see win? I'll give you my pick and who I'd like to see. My pick is Toronto, because I think it's time. I'd like to see win? I'd like to see the Minnesota Wild win, because I was living in Minnesota for their inaugural season, and I feel like that would be a really cool full circle moment. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's my pick.
I kind of have a low-key Wild appreciation. I like that. That's great. Okay. All right, Tony, that was it for Q&A from the feed. Now we have another segment, and this is one of the best segments of the show. We do have a song before an Andy Lund song before we actually get to this part. But this next segment of the show is called Lindsay's Question. Andy, take it away.
Tony P. Tony P. She might stump you, Tony P. No turning back, no guarantee. Who knows what's in her mind? The question is by design, to get to know you. Tony B. To get to know you.
So good.
Oh, it's so good. You know what song I actually miss? The "What Are You Listening To" song. How you start with that I can't remember what you start, but you start with like the pre-chorus, and it's always beautiful.
Maybe we'll have to come back to that.
or just have him play it for some reason, random reason.
What are you listening to?
Yeah.
Go into the draft next week.
Yes. Okay. All right. Tony, let's see. So you're known as like the guitar guy. So let's just get to know you a little bit better. Other than being known for that, like what are some talents that you possess that maybe not a lot of people know of? Give us like 2 talents that you just like, nobody would know this about me, but I'm like an amazing table tennis player.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, real quick, Lindsay. You've asked this question a different way in the past, Andy, backing up here. And what she's trying to say, I think she's really trying to be kind. The first time she asked this question was, what are some useless talents that we don't know about? So,
that is how I asked it the first time. I'm cleaning it up.
Okay, I'll start with the softball one, and that is I can juggle. I taught myself to juggle. I'm sorry. I had to teach myself to juggle in order to play hockey. When I went and played juniors in Minnesota, the coach was like, "Can you juggle?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "You better learn how, otherwise you're not playing." So I was like, "You're right. I better learn how." This was pre-YouTube, so it was a lot of nights in my billet family's home, hoping I didn't break anything with 3 tennis balls. What's another useless talent I have?
That's amazing.
I wish he had tennis balls.
I wish he had tennis. I mean, I see these animals that we can have you juggle. Juggle.
Hold on 1 second.
This is the greatest. He's ready.
Okay. This is going to be difficult because these are not tennis balls, but we do have Prince.
Yes.
We do have Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
And we do have Jerry Garcia. So
this is perfect.
Hold on. I got to take these headphones off.
Yeah.
I hope this goes well.
Bravo.
Nice work.
Oh, the anniversary episode is
Yeah.
A man of many talents.
We're gonna have you on every episode, every anniversary episode from now on. That's so great. Oh man.
Other than that, I think we just tapped out my talent pool. I'll say I think that's about it. I got a really high pain threshold.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
What position do you play in hockey?
Goalie.
That's why you got the Crawford jersey.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh man.
I was wondering, like the coach asked that. I was thinking a goalie would probably need it.
Yeah.
That's so great. All right. Next segment of the show, Andy. You ready to play a song? We're going to do a useless clip real quick. Gabe, you want to roll it? You know, it's my favorite time of the night.
Oh, okay.
2 minutes of sports.
Two minutes of sports. How much fun can 2 minutes be? We talk every week about winning streaks, career peaks, physical freaks, MVPs, and nailing threes, long off the tees, and dynasties on 2 minutes of sports.
Love it.
They're so good. Anyway, okay, before I get into you, Tony, we're going to talk. I need to have a little sidebar conversation with Lindsay. First and foremost, Lindsay,
Mm-hmm.
you're now into the second season of the NBA, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink. We are in the postseason. This is really exciting for you and me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, my team is playing your team.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen there? So what I'm talking about here is I'm a Warriors fan, been a Warriors fan for a long time. I'm also a Bulls fan. That was like the first basketball game I ever went to, Tony, with my dad, was Warriors Bulls, and I fell in love with both organizations. So we're playing the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to go? And I know Z's probably going crazy over here, but Z, I want to hear from Lindsay.
Yeah, the Lakers have won 5 straight since LeBron and AD have been back. I think the Lakers are going to win tomorrow. I'm pretty confident that they're going to win tomorrow. They're going to get the 7th seed. And then they're going to go on to beat my husband's team. My husband is a die-hard Suns fan. Die-hard Suns fan.
So if we're talking about the Suns,
yeah,
let's talk about the MVP race real quick,
Chris
because
Paul.
I think okay.
That was quick.
Okay, I feel you. But we have some big men who are up for it as well. I mean, you think it's going to go to a point guard, or you think it's going to go to a center?
I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm always surprised at who they give it to, but I think Chris Paul is well deserving of it this year. The Suns, missed the playoffs last year, and with his leadership, his veteran leadership, and his and then just his skills, he was able to get them as a 2 seed. So Chris Paul deserves it. They are going to lose to the Lakers probably, but he deserves it.
Okay, I would say I wouldn't be upset if he wins it. But my boy deserves it, Steph Curry. Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? Just saying. His team is not a 2 seed, that's for sure, but they're never going to get it to him. So, Tony, I have a question for you. Actually, I don't have a question for you, but we have a question. And we got a clip today from, I know we talked about this, and you're not really a baseball fan. So you know what I did? I reached out to one of the baseball players I know, and I wanted him to ask you the question. So he sent me this video clip real quick. So we're going to play along. It might be a little quiet. The audio is pretty quiet, but here we go. My boy DD12.
What's up, guys? This is Derek Dietrich from New York Yankees. And today I have a question for Tony for Taylor's 2 minutes of sports. Tony, what is your favorite sports memory of your lifetime?
That's a nice touch.
Wow. Derek Dietrich wrote us. He is a Taylor player. He owns a few. He's got a GT. He's got an AD17 blacktop. He's got something else, maybe a GS Mini. But he is a big fan of yours, Tony, and cool. Just wanted to ask you a question. So what is your biggest sports memory or moment that you've experienced?
I'm smiling right now. That's really cool. Best sports memory. Okay. So I was playing junior hockey in Minnesota, junior B. I was playing for a team called the Minnesota Ice Hawks. And we were not a very good team. I'll just throw it out there. We were like bottom dwellers, not good. And there was a team in our division, the Iron Range Yellow Jackets from northern Minnesota, and they dominated everybody. All the teams. They just had their way with them. So we go up. It was a 3-game series against the Iron Range Yellow Jackets. And this was my first season in the league. I didn't start at that point. So the final game, the 3rd game of the series, coach is like, all right, all the other goalies are destroyed, so you may as well go and get destroyed. We won. I had a great game, and I had like a bazillion shots, and it was one of those like blackout moments where I woke up and I was like, I can't believe we won. And I remember like almost being in tears in the locker room because I was like, I couldn't believe it happened. So that's my favorite sports memory.
That's great.
That's
when
so
you're
awesome.
when you're a kid and you don't think you're going to win, and then you win.
Yeah.
That's so great. That's awesome. All right, Tony, it's been great having you on here. We do one last thing, and that's a little bit of trivia. We're going to ask some trivia. The prize tonight is an all-black Taylor stool so that you can enjoy your guitar playing time or your 10 minutes of, we don't call it practice.
That's right.
10 minutes of guitar playing. That is fantastic. It looks like we might have some feed issues right now. I don't want to ask the question if we're having feed issues. Gabe, can you pay the bill, Jay? That's so good. Are we having YouTube issues? If not, feed keeps going off. Pay the bill, Jay. I hear you. I should pay the bill. Could be a YouTube API issue as well. It's been known to happen.
Mhm.
Everything is fine here. All good here. Nah feeds back. Okay. It looks like we're good to go. All right. So the rules are, as you know, Gabriel O'Brien and Paul Tobias are not allowed to answer the question. If you win, if you get the answer right, we need you to answer the question in the feed. If you are the first one to answer the question, Gabriel is going to post that onto our screen so that we can see who the winner is. If you win, please send us an email at primetime@taylorguitars.com and we will hook you up with a prize. And tonight's prize, remember, it's a stool. I don't have one here. I don't own one. You will be the lucky person who owns one. I know we've been going back and forth about questions real quick, but I think we got a question. It's a good one. If you would like to post the question, please. What hat was Jay wearing on the first episode of Primetime? I will tell you one thing. I'll give you a hint. I'm not going to give you a hint. What hat was I wearing on the first episode of Primetime? YouTube searches are going crazy right now. It's awesome.
Most days it don't matter how much useless stuff you know. Here on the Primetime, the part that we know as trivia. Put your knowledge on the line, trivia. Win a stool from the Primetime.
Taylor Primetime broke the internet. Some people are seeing this, some people are not. So what we're gonna do, is we will give a stool away next week as well. But if you do see us, you know the question, you can see it. It's a baseball hat. No, it wasn't a baseball hat. It wasn't a baseball hat. It was not an MLB hat. Paul, you don't get to win anyway, man. Bozeman. No, that's where Tony lives. Down. Well, it looks like we may have to end the show early. What a bummer. No one can see it. Oh, I see it. Someone won. Isaac won. Good job, Isaac. Send us an email to primetime@taylorguitars.com and we'll get you set up. For the rest of you, we will give away a stool next week as well. It's been fantastic having you, Tony. You broke the internet.
It says Tony's beard sucked up all the energy. Yes. So
That
good.
Wow.
is so good. That is so good. YouTube fail. So sorry. So sorry that we lost you. It was not a blue hat. You're the best, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You've made this Primetime 1-year anniversary special. What a bummer if we lost people.
Yeah.
But it was fun while it lasted. Hey, Andy, you want to take it away?
What was it? What was it? It was prime time. It was prime time. What the heck was it? Well, that was prime time. And that was another prime time. Show number 44. Mystery guest turned out to be a hockey dude. We didn't know what we had in store. Tony hosts Acoustic Tuesdays. He plays at least 10 minutes a day. Small wins will make you happy. He stopped shaving on St. Patrick's Day. Things you learn on Prime Time on Tuesdays. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Tony. Mystery guest.